In a way, not to be too negative, it's kind of gotten to where the comics, they keep the industries keep their comic book companies going to kind of like as their minor league baseball team to kind of create the concepts, and then when it's time to go to the big leagues, oh yeah, well it's a comic, now we'll make a show out of it, now we'll make a movie out of it. I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, at least it's keeping it going. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Right. Yep. Well, this gentleman had a comic made into a movie, series of movies, TV show. What do you think about it? You have a unique insight.
I cash the checks. That's in the last 10 years or so, comics have been like something to exploit by the movie companies. They have a built-in fan base. They're on the shelf every month, and as a result, you get a lot of really poorly made films. I try and keep my distance from Hollywood. But and I'm the success story, so I don't know what that says about me or the industry in particular, but I think of comics as something separate. It's if a movie comes out of it, fine. If it doesn't, I still have my book.
I think the same rules apply as in the fiction genre. James Patterson or Janet Ivanovich. It's the same thing. The writer and I'm a writer who works in print. Then somebody in Hollywood wants to do something else with it. Well, that's their business, and that's not going to change my career or my path. You see so many creative people from print go out to Hollywood and fall off the face of the earth. So most people I know in print don't want anything to do with it. It's nice if you can have that going for you, and if it works out. I'm as excited as anybody when a good movie comes out. It's wonderful to see things on screen that I had never seen in the comics, like the Iron Man movies, when he puts on the suit and the suit does a vent check. Well, that was never in any comic book. What a great idea. Or Silver Surfer in the movie when he goes through the board and goes upside down. That was never in the comic. What a great idea, So I love it when they improve, and then we just try to ignore the embarrassments.
I wanted to say real quick that, when you have movies like Superman or Iron Man and people already know those comics, everybody has high expectations and it may be good or bad. But then there was the instance where when Hellboy came out, the first Hellboy movie, we had so many people coming into the store who had no idea that it had been a comic book beforehand for years before that. And then the publisher, in my opinion, did it right. They put out a 50 cent or 25 cent, I can't remember, comic when the movie came out to go along with it. And, the popularity of that comic just rose because nobody knew about it. And then some of the people who did automatically looked at the title and thought, oh, it's going to be an evil, bad book. They didn't realize that this was a demon who was trying to do good. So sometimes the movie has a good effect. Cross-promotion. Yeah.
Yep. One last question. And, sorry. Okay, yeah. Sure. Well, this movie is fantastic for that. So thank you, Todd. Yeah, I'll clap to that. And sharing your comics is my biggest deal. Is letting people borrow comics, trading comics just for a little bit like you would DVDs or a video game or something like that. Everyone needs to, it's an individual experience, not like playing a board game or even a video game these days. And it's reading. It is legitimate reading, so it may not excite everybody automatically, but it is so much fun. And as we all know, it's addictive. It's a good kind of addictive where, you can't stop reading these things. Reading comics is a wonderful addiction. Anybody else?
Yeah, two suggestions. One is make a documentary about comic books. The second is, just going along with what Scott said, I like to give, I have young nephews, I give them comic books as part of their birthday or Christmas. So I recommend not just giving them out to people, but give them to kids and kind of create that next generation of readership. There's one big criticism of the comic book industry is that it's a little exclusive and it's a little kind of hard to crack. It could be intimidating to a new reader. So if you start them out young, that gets them excited. They'll become adult readers. They'll go from child readers to adult readers, and they'll be exposed to that world.
I've got a couple of comments for you. I think as a publisher, the best advice I could give a publisher, would be to go to where the people are. That's just basic retail knowledge right there. Go to where the audience is. One of the things that we do as a family, my wife and I, every Halloween we give comic books away instead of candy. And you would not believe the response that we get. We are the most popular house on the block, I guarantee you. Kids go running, screaming out of the yard, waving them over their head. They're giving away comic books. It's immensely popular. I tell this to publishers, and to a one, there hasn't been anyone yet that has really grokked onto the power of what I'm saying there. What a publisher would be able to do by publishing a Halloween comic and getting it properly in the hands of retailers and educating the retailers is they could turn every comic reader in America into a sub-distributor. That's huge. So that's something that I would recommend. The other thing I would recommend, and this is very controversial right now, is technology. We were talking about this backstage. The iPad, the iPhone, reading comic books on these devices is a big, big controversial topic in the industry right now. But I can tell you this. There's a comic book app out there for Archie Comics. There's another comic book app that is just a generic comic book app, has all kinds of publishers in it, and it has those exact same Archie Comics in it. The one that is purely Archie Comics outsells it 10-1. Guaranteed, every month, issue after issue. And the reason is the one that is purely Archie Comics is hitting the target audience. Archie Comics kind of gets ignored by a lot of comic shops because they don't make a lot of money on it. And they wonder, how do they stay in business? You go to any grocery store in America, when you're checking out, you look up, you're going to see a little digest-sized Archie comic right there at the checkout in every Kroger, every Target, every Tom Thumb across America. And I guarantee you there, almost any other comic publisher in the world would give their left arm to be able to have that. So go where the people are.
Well, great. We had a really great time talking with you. Real quickly, we're just going to announce all these names one more time on the panel. It's Ben Dunn from Antarctic Press, Weldon Adams, Terry Moore, Ethan Nockley, James Disco, James O'Barr, and Todd Kent. I'm Scott Hines from Fanboy Radio. Thanks so much for coming. And one more time, give it up for comic book literacy.